Hey everyone, welcome to Nite. Tonight I will be reading Welcome to Undergrad and Freshman Week. This is one of my originals, my first published novel. You guys can grab your ebooks, follow along, grab your chapter books if you have them as I read. Chapter 4, Welcome to Undergrad. Tali. Freshman year, I arrived a couple weeks early to campus for track practice. I swear that was the longest drive ever. My mom and grandma followed my little sister and me down to my new home, one state over. Jackson H University, one of the two historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, in Kentucky. Since they were following me down, I drove the speed limit. I didn't want to give my mom any reason to reconsider her decision to allow me to bring my car down. One of her conditions was not getting any tickets. If I caused her insurance to increase, I was going to be cut off. As far as the insurance company knows, my car was in Cincinnati, parked in my mom's driveway. We left the city and headed to what appeared to be the country. The only scenery around was horses, cows, and cotton fields. I started to question if I was looking at the same fields my ancestors picked from. The drive took about 2 hours and 15 minutes. My grandma grew tired of my slow driving and went around me. My heart finally slowed its pace. I felt like having a police officer. It felt like having a police follow you, then finally get over. I turned on No Lie by 2 Chainz, relaxed my shoulders, leaned back in my seat, and blasted my music from the new speakers my dad just installed when he visited me. We arrived on campus and followed the signs to my dorm. As soon as I got out the car to unload my things, all I saw were fine-ass black men. I knew I was going to have a fun college experience. Lucky for me, my roommate never showed up. She was there for as far as the school knew, but she really stayed with her boyfriend. On my first day of practice, I walked up to the stadium for a checkup and sickle cell test and met my knight in shining armor. Let my 18-year-old self tell it. Tali was always this loud, cool, goofy guy with a hood side. Zaddy-ish, right? Shut up. I was 18 and that was everything. Tali is about 5'10" and dark chocolate. He had mild acne on his face and he had dreads. I could tell his muscles hadn't fully peaked, but he was nicely built. He always had something about him that I just needed to experience. It was like a vampire passing a human that smelled amazing, then saw that same vampire a week later after he'd been starving. I was ready to pounce, but I played it cool at first. I was with all these upper-class athletes, and I was fresh meat trying to stay out the way. Then here comes James, a senior god. He had body for days, a body that made you want to rub him down in oil and pounce on him. He was built like Thor. Tall, fresh prince cut, big brown eyes, caramel complexion. He must have sniffed me out the pack. He had a mission. I'm not sure if he placed a bet on me or what, but it was too good to be true. This man wanted me. I could tell by his eyes. Think I'm crazy? You'll soon understand I was born with a gift, and sometimes I may have come across as gifted, but I was born with a gift. I know when people, men and women, are interested in me. My reasoning may be a little unorthodox, causing my friends to question my sanity, but at the end of the day, when I know. A gift, right? The next day or so, I saw James at the bookstore where I started working the day I quit the track team. Yeah, I was tired of running. I wanted to enjoy myself, and shit, I was too damn lazy. The bookstore was inside the student center on the second floor across from the student food lounge and cafeteria. And it had absolutely no privacy. It had big ass glass windows, and my manager made sure we Windex and dust them all the time. Towards the back of the store was a little more privacy because all the fixtures blocked the view. James saw me through them large ass windows. He came in and immediately started flirting, asking me how old I was, if I was single, then called me a quitter. He had my attention till Tolly walked past those same big ass bookstore windows. I pretended to work as I admired the view. I tuned out whatever it was James was talking about and gazed at Tolly. James eventually got the hint. Well, at least that day. Chapter 5, Freshman Week. Freshman week is a week before the first day of classes. A week from the first day of classes, and most HBCU alumni know, one of the livest weeks ever. Not only for freshmen, but for everyone. The yard was packed. I was in the bookstore working, missing my first college event. I took my 15, which turned into a 30-minute break. I just combined my two 15-minute breaks. You can hear the band playing inside the student center. All the Greeks were out except the Reds. They were suspended that year. The J.H. Scarlets danced their butts off to the school's anthem. Flyers went out for the freshman bash at Emma's. Believe me, everybody was going. The upperclassmen were going because shit, it was a bar and they wanted to scope out the fresh meat. Emma was the spot for all the major parties at the school. Ladies 2 for $5 vodka shots at the door. You remember that New Amsterdam? College life. College was life. My homegirls and I walked into the bar, and you can tell we were freshmen. We were there hella early and shit. The lights were on, and the locals were still there. Lucky for me, Tolly and his crew didn't get the memo either. He was just sitting there vibing to the music in his zone. The party got bigger and bigger, so you know the girls' leave-outs were sweating out, but everybody was lit. In between swag surfing, beefing it up to Do It by Makio Montana, and ignoring Paul's repeated phone calls, I managed to down a few drinks and really get in my zone. The DJ started the slow jams. I started moving and winding my hips to the beat, grabbed my chair because I was really feeling the music. And guess what? Tolly grabbed me. Phones went up, flashes were bright. But at that moment, it was just me and him. He picked me up, bent me over the chair, put me on his shoulders as I rode his face. We were the party. We had the party watching us. I knew right then, like a vampire, I had to attack. That dance led to the rest of the decisions I made at Jackson H University. Well, the sexual ones, at least. I later told my girls, Jade and Christy, that I was going to fuck the shit out of him. The song ended and Tolly gently put me down. Jade yelled, "Hey, Dreadhead, what's your name?" He answered, "Tolly, from Jamaica," then walked away. I came to my senses and begged my friends not to tag me in their footage. I didn't want them to post me at all dancing with Tolly. Most importantly, I didn't want Paul to see it. I got lucky that time. A few days after the party, while restocking the bookshelves, I plotted a way to get in Tolly's pants. Nothing I ever thought of was even close to how it went down. After work, Jade and I cruised around campus and past Ivan Hall, where Tolly and Corey, Jade's new boy toy, stayed. Corey was outside just in time to hop in my car and head to the store. Then boom, Tolly appeared. Jay's wretched ass told me to roll my windows down, reached across me and yelled, "Tolly, what you about to do?" Tolly said, "Shit," then walked towards my car by the driver's side window. "Want to come to Walmart with us?" Jade asked. Tolly agreed. I got out of my car to push down my seat so he can get in. This was the start of something great. So I thought. I'm in this fantasy box in my head thinking, yep, he's going to be one of my baes. He was great at Walmart, pushing the cart and everything. We talked and I felt like it was a vibe. I felt so comfortable around him. We even went to the video game aisle and raced each other in the car racing game. We left the store, headed back to campus. Jade and Corey sat in the back seat and Tolly and I continued to get to know each other. I parked in the dorm's parking lot. We got out, headed towards the yard. I left the things I purchased in my car. Tolly and I sat in the front of the student center under the flagpoles facing the yard. Jade and Corey went off somewhere. Tolly told me about his life. When he was in middle school, he had been adopted by his uncle and aunt after his brother Boogie died from gang violence. Tolly's uncle trapped and his auntie was a pimp. I couldn't ask him what happened to his parents because I felt like if he wanted me to know, he would have told me. There I was, shocked that he had all this personal information, that he told me all this personal information. He continued to say how his uncle was mad at him because he wasn't on the streets working for him, but decided to go to college. He changed the subject and asked me, "What's up?" "Well, at the party you picked me up and was dancing and I wanted to fuck the shit out of you ever since," I replied. In the midst of me telling him that, my friend Christy walked up. Tolly instantly grabbed his phone, called D, one of his friends from the dorm, to entertain Christy. I guess D was supposed to be Captain Save-A-Ho. Tolly ain't shit. He used D to get Christy away so he could fuck. Once D came to the yard, he noticed the setup and figured he might as well get some pussy too. Christy was down because she just turned 18 and wanted to have some birthday sex. Christy and I left Jade to play with Corey and we followed the hornballs to their dorm. We all walked down the lightly lit walkway towards Ivan Hall. The yard was quite quiet, no one except us. The yard was quiet. No one was out except for us. Tolly came up with this master plan to sneak us in. At HBCUs, dorms are strict. Well, they try to be. Ivan Hall was co-ed, but the floors were separated by genders. Visitor must sign in at the front desk and only are allowed in during visiting hours. The first 3 weeks of the semester, Jackson H issued a campus-wide no visitation policy. A bitch was taking risk for the dick. Tolly and D went to their dorms and grabbed their disguises. Christy and I sat at the stairs in front of their dorm so we wouldn't look like we didn't belong. Bambi and her babies walked past us and headed towards the same walkway we just left. I wonder if they're in night school, Christy joked. Shit, they might be, I said and laughed. Tolly came down with 2 hoodies. He said, "Here's Dee's key card. Put these hoodies on, walk up the steps, don't look suspicious, and don't look at the cameras." Christy and I did just that, sneaking like we were still in high school. Christy and I walked up 4 flights of stairs, finally reaching their floor. I used the key card and tried to open the door to get on their floor. I waved the key across the sensor again for the second time, and the light flashed red, making a short ringing noise like it was telling me access denied. Christy grabbed the key from me and tried. Red light again. Damn, this nigga car broke. Damn, this nigga car broke? I asked. We saw the dorm security coming upstairs through the reflection of the stairway window. Christy tried the card again, and finally, green light. We opened the door, sighed in relief. I looked down a long-ass hallway with white floors looking like a psych ward floors. My bougie-ass dorm had carpet floors and gave you hotel vibes. Not crazy house vibes. All sharing one stinky-ass bathroom. Yeah, judgment too much. Sorry, I can't help it. Why am I talking all this shit? I stayed visiting Ivan Hall and all my friends live there. As we stared down the hall, Tali opened the door and guided us in. We walked in, then noticed a man-made wall of dressers and 2 computer desks. Only one side of the room looked lived in, and that was the side Tali guided me to. The other side had no sheets on the bed, no decorations on the wall, and nothing on the shelves. It was apparent that this was Tali's room, and Dee was not his roommate. So looking back at it, this was a super setup, but let me continue. I went on to Tali's side and sat on the bed. Tali turned off the lights and wasted no time. He kissed and licked on my neck, and our kisses were interrupted by Christy's giggles. Is this nigga tickling her? Tali whispered. I shrugged and offered a giggle of my own before Tali laid me down and slid my panties off. He leaned over to grab a condom. Good job, E. I felt him break through my walls like I was a virgin. It had been a couple weeks since I had sex, so I was practically a virgin. He picked me up, bent me over, and fucked me like I have never been fucked. This was sex. He was bigger than Paul, more ambitious than Paul, and most importantly, he was here, unlike Paul. I got what I wanted. I always get what I want. Well, at least I fuck who I want. I mean, you'll see. Round 1 was over, and he took off the condom, wiped off, and I laid on his chest. I asked, how was it? Tali released a deep breath, smacked my ass, and said, good shit, Miss Wet Wet. He rubbed my clit and noticed I was wetter than ever. He pulled me on top of him, and his dick was standing at full attention, reminding me of the bobblehead because it was moving back and forth, not reaching its target. Still, I straddled Tali, reached behind me and grabbed his dick, and rolled him until his toes curled. This time, no condom. I was in love, child. This man fucked me good, and he fucked me raw. We was about to be together. Okay, I was 18 and totally inexperienced. So, how do you guys think? That was welcome to undergrad and freshman week. We all have been to college. Or those who have been to college, you guys know how that first week is, freshman week. That's the week everybody looks forward to. I know at least at my school, we look forward to it. It was super big. You seen everyone. Everybody was out. It was like a family reunion. So a lot happens. I met a lot of people my freshman week. I got a lot of trouble. Well, I would have gotten in trouble if I would have got caught. We had good times. So I want y'all to tell me what y'all remember about y'all freshman week. Or is it anything like Erica Black? She met a guy. And basically got what she wanted. She was like a vampire and bit into him. So how was y'all freshman week? Did y'all have sex as fast as Erica? Or did y'all wait it out? Did y'all find somebody y'all liked? Did y'all cuff the person y'all liked? I know a couple people that end up beginning relationships like from freshman week, and then they were dating. I'm not saying that they were faithful, but I'm saying that it happened. So I'll read the comments and everything and respond to you all. Next week I will be reading chapter 6 and 7. That is mixed liquor. That is a huge chapter. That is a huge chapter. And actually I'm just gonna read mixed liquor. It's not a huge chapter because my book is not that huge, but it is a little lengthy chapter. So mixed liquor and then real friends. So this book is very interesting. It gets funny. I hope you guys relate to it. A lot of people who told me they got it found it very relatable, felt like they lived it. So let me know what you think. Remember that you guys are her counselors, so please counsel her. You guys would not know what's going to happen for sophomore year. Like, she's just getting started. So see you guys next week. Thank you for showing up for the Thank you for showing up to Clit Night.